guards together. For little kids, you might have to adjust the Velcro. It might be too big to go on, so you can either tie it, or you might just have to re-stitch the Velcro for little kids. Again, it's one of those things where one piece of equipment cannot accommodate every type of person.
Safety glasses too?
Safety glasses too, just feel cooler than okay. Wrist guards, if you look carefully, there's a plastic piece in here. That plastic piece has to go in your hand. There's a left and a right. That hole is for your thumb. So we'll have kids doing this. They'll go like this. That's backwards. If I do this, the thumb's on the wrong side. So obviously, that's for the right hand. This curve follows the heel of your hand. The big strap goes around first and sticks on the Velcro, then the smaller one, and the smaller one. Okay, and again, when you're on stilts, if you fall, the idea you fall forward, you almost always will fall forward. I've never seen anybody fall backwards. It's just the way stilts work. Because almost always people are going forward, and you remember on the short stilts, you have to lift your legs. You have to march. If you walk normally on these stilts, you'll drag a stilt. If you just walk like we normally walk, and then you'll go forward. What kids always do is try to catch the balance. It's called the stumble run. They'll lose their balance and they'll go. And what they do is they keep stumbling until they run into something. It never works. You can never recover. So what you have to emphasize to anybody trying this, first they have their safety gear on, 2 wrist guards, 2 knee pads. If they lose their balance, crumple. Go down. Go straight down. And what you'll end up doing is you'll go down and you'll go 4 points of contact. You land on the knee pads and on the wrist guards. You land right on that plastic part and it doesn't bend your wrist. No matter how you fall, you will not bend your wrist back. That's what the wrist guards are for. But the plastic piece has to be right here, not on the back. Some people think it has to go on the back to stop you from going back. No, you want to go down this way. The tension here will stop it. This gives you a 4-point landing. But the idea is no stumbling and running, crumple and go down.
Use these for DBL ball?
For what? Sure. Go for it. So now, as far as teaching this goes, there is a whole process, and I have this described kind of. It's, again, incredibly difficult to write this down. So I want you to watch this very, very carefully. This is my own method for getting people up to speed on stilts, and it works really well. I've done it thousands of times. If I'm working with 50 or 100 kids and they all want to try stilts, you have to be as efficient as possible. You have to get the kids up and walking as quickly as you can. So I worked out a super efficient way of doing it. And here it is. Okay, what's your first name again?
Troy.
Troy. Okay, first thing is, I'm not, Troy has to hang on to me, but we don't want to make hand contact. If you are working with 100 kids and you're touching, everybody's touching hands, you're just spreading germs everywhere, and everybody gets sick. So a really, really good way of doing this is, I'm going to make fists. Troy is going to grab the top of my fists. Now Troy is in control. Troy can grab as tight as he wants or let go, and and I'm stronger this way. If I'm like this, my arms are not strong. If I'm like this, my arms are strong and I can help somebody. So Troy's going to grab my fists, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Troy's thumbs. Now, Troy did fall backwards. I got it. Because like this, I can't hang on. So I grab Troy's thumbs like this. Now we're locked in. Troy's going to stand up, get your legs back the way they were, knees together a little more. Good. Troy is going to stand up and get into ready position. And you're going to lean on my fist and foot.
Which would you want?
Good. Now, your tendency will be to look down. As soon as you look down, you bend forward, just like the unicycle. If your upper body bends forward, your stilts lean backwards, you cannot balance. That's why I did unicycle first and then stilts. So Troy's just going to stand there. Now what I want Troy to do is just go like this. Just get used to, you've got an extra weight hanging off of your legs. Now Troy's an adult for a, kind of. I'm going to pretend you're a little kid. You've actually got this. You probably don't even need help. But if you think about it, a little kid using these stilts, those stilts are much heavier for a little kid than they are for an adult. So the little kids have to get used to this huge extra weight hanging off their feet. So you're going to do exactly what Troy's doing, getting used to that. When kids walk, they will want to walk normally. They can't. They have to march. You have to lift your knees and step. I say you have to step over sleeping snakes. Don't wake those snakes up. Step over them. See those black lines and the green lines? Those are your... Face me. Stop being so good. Pretend. Stop pretending. So now start walking towards me. Keep that. And you have to monitor. If they're looking down, head up. If they're leaning forward, tell them back straight. If they're leaning forward, I'm going to lift my hands up. Your arms will become so tired, you won't believe it. But your shoulders, if you keep doing this, will be strong. I'm a skinny guy, but my shoulders are rock hard from doing this. Good. You're going to lead them out about 10, 15 feet. Now you're going to stop. I want Troy to lift up one knee as high as he can and hold it in the air. Keep holding it. Now you're the peacock feather again. You're feeling that balance like a peacock feather. Good. Step down. Other foot. I tell them, kiss your knee. Kiss your knee. Good. Walk towards me some more. You take another 10 feet and stop. Now Troy is going to do a box step. Think about a square on the ground. Step backwards onto the two corners of the square and step forward on two corners. Back and forth. We're dancing. Take smaller steps, a smaller square. See now, feel your balance. The idea, if you feel like you're falling backwards, you have to know how to step backwards. If I feel Troy is leaning forward, again, I'm going to lift my hands and try to straighten them out. Good. Now walk towards me some more. Now turn. Now, if Troy was smaller, this would work better. What I'm going to do now is, Troy, I want you to turn around on one spot in a circle. Just rotate. Hold my hands as if you don't know what you're doing. You're too good. All right, good. Now, the next step, and have them turn the other way too. Also, yeah, good. I don't want you to fall. You're bigger than I am. All right, now, the next step is, let's see, what would be the best one to do here? I want Troy to do a whole bunch of fast little steps. Again, when you're walking like that, your body loosens up right away, and you're much more in ready position. Good. Now, again, if Troy was smaller, I'm going to put my arm like this, grab the top of my arm. No, lower down, my forearm. There you go. And there. Now, start walking towards me. You can let go when you want. Keep your hands over. Now, let's say you panic. Grab my arms. Exactly. Now they're walking by the side. If Troy really wiped out, I would go like this and grab them. A little kid, that's what you're going to do. They might twist, and they'll go right down. You can grab them and stop them from falling. Now, keep going. Walk towards me. Good. Now, stay in one spot. Do your box step. Now we're doing all the same moves, but I'm not touching him, but I'm ready to grab. I'm still spotting. Wow. Now I want you to rotate up. That's it. If you're here, he's doing exactly right. His instinct was to grab my shoulders. Because my hands are here, his hands go on my shoulders, we're safe. Okay. I want you to rotate on one spot. And grab my arms whenever you need to. And stop, and grab, and now the other way. Oh. Good. Now, I want you to go slower and feel the balance all the way around. Don't rush it. Make sure you're balanced in every part of your turn. Don't try to get to the end. You know, be balanced at all points in the turn. Much better. There we go. Good. And I'm going to grab his fist again. Then I would take him back to the table, sit him down, and the next kid goes.
Yeah, because my legs are sore now.
Yeah. I want you to go to the stage. It's much easier to sit down on.